Welcome guys once again. So today now we'll see data provider. Okay, how we can use data provider to achieve parameterization. So using data provider we can run a same test method with multiple data set or multiple test data. We'll see how we can achieve. Let's go for theory part a little bit. So to test with multiple sets of data we need to use data provider. Okay, data provider returns a two-dimensional Java object to the test method. So test method, if you want to feed some data, so what data we have to feed? So 2D object, okay, 2D Java object we have to feed. Test method, and the test method will invoke m times in m into n types of object array. We'll see this all thing with practical example now, then it will be very much clear for you. Okay, let's go with the example. So I'll just go and create a separate test method. I'll create data provider, okay, test one. Very simple test I'll create. So I want one method which I will be testing. So login test. It's a very simple method. It will accept two object to string username and string as a password. Simple. I'll just write again a dummy. Okay, so I'll need user and password. Okay, that's all. So this test method will accept username and password. This is very simple method which I have written. So I'll just write @test. So this is my test case. So now I want this test cases to be automated with multiple data set. So I can use data provider, but data provider will accept 2D object array. So I need to write a method which will return 2D object array. So public static, so return type is 2D object array. So I'll write object simple 2D array. So I'll write 2-dimensional array. Then I can write the method name. So get data simple. It's very simple, nothing is there in this. Okay, so now I need to return. So if my return type is 2D array, so I have to return 2D object array only. So return, okay, object, so 2D array, right? So we can return like this. Okay, so inside that now I want multiple data sets. So here just I'll write close this. So I want multiple data set, so I can write here. Okay, so return, I have to create new an object. In the form of object we have to return, right? So by using new keyword only we can create object. So I'm just creating 2D object array, that's all. So return new object. This is 2D object and this is just for your reference. So now I'll pass here multiple objects. Okay, so username 1, so Pankaj 1, comma, and password is pass1. Now this is one test data. I want multiple test data to be feed into this method. So I'll write multiple with comma separated. I can pass n number of data, how much ever I want. So I'll just write so that we can be able to capture in the report and logs, and we can able to see it is running with a different set of data. So I have now 4 data set. Okay, 4 data set, and this method should be static. Okay, now I want to use this data data into this test. So what we have to use is data provider. So now basic requirement is what? A test method should return what? 2D object array. Now we have just a data a method which will return a 2D object array, and I have a test which will need a data. So now I need to connect this test method with this data. So for that we will be using data provider. So this data, as of now I'm writing hard coding, and this data you can take from Excel sheet as well. And this part, how to take the data from Excel sheet, we have already gone through. Okay, so let's connect this test data with this test method. So I'll write @. So for that we have a notation called data provider. So I'll write data provider and give some name to this test data. So name is equal to, I'll write login test something, login, just login, that's all. So now this test method has one data provider which is name is what, login. So I need to connect with this method. So for that I'll write again data provider is equal to, I'll write login, simple, that's all. Now this test method is connected with this test data. Now if I'll execute, this test method will be keep executing with a different set of data. Okay, so for visible logs, I'll just write system.some logs so that we will be able to see easily. So this will be a start testing. Okay, and this will be end testing. So let's execute now and we'll see the output. So if you'll see the output, we'll talk about the output now. Okay, if you'll see start testing, Pankaj 1, pass 1, again in testing. Now next time again start testing, now Pankaj 2. If you'll see out this secondary data is pushing into the method Pankaj 2, pass 2, again end the test. Okay, again start testing. Okay, now this time Pankaj 3, pass 3, Pankaj 3, pass 3. So now multiple set of data is feeding into this test method, and my test data is getting changed at runtime. Okay, so same test method, we are testing with multiple data set, a multiple set of data. This is nothing but data driven testing. Okay, now we have only one test method which I want to test. I have written only one test a script. Okay, and I'm feeding with different data. Now I don't need to write multiple times the same method and different data, right? So this is how easy we can use data provider. That's very simple example. So as of now we have data provider in the same class, and test is in the same class. Now how we can use this data provider from the different class? Okay, so if we'll go for advanced level, this data will be coming from Excel sheet, same 2D object array, and feeding to the test method. So let's observe how we can use the data provider from the different class. So see you in the next.